Alright, hello. As the title might imply, so earlier this morning my throat was feeling a bit uncomfortable, so I was like, oh, maybe it's just because I haven't hydrated in the morning that much. But it turns out that I might be down with something, because my throat is feeling quite a bit, like, it's like with that feeling when you, swallow and then it feels hoarse, I guess. So I might be down with something. Honestly, it's just my throat. Everything else feels fine, but I don't know if that's just because the allergy meds are kind of keeping my other symptoms down. But yeah, uh, we're just gonna have to see. But other than that, we are here for the Baizhu story quest, but I'm gonna probably keep um, talking to a minimum to try and, let things let things heal.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is.
Oh, excuse me. I also ate lunch like about an hour and a half ago, so yeah. How do you even pronounce this? Lagenaria? The art of healing.
Someone can.
Oh shoot! I forgot. When I woke up this morning for the live stream, I was gonna wait for my adventure stuff to reset because I was like earlier than usual, so I need to wait 16 minutes. But lo and behold, I got sidetracked by doing the par request with Sarouche, and then I ended up just logging off straight after, so I forgot to log on, and that's why I've been capped for like 4 to 5 hours. Alright, but yeah, anyways, enough of that. Let us head on over to Bubu Pharmacy, where I see Chi-Chi. It's been a while.
What's your name, buddy? Are you here to buy some medicine? Where are your mom and dad?
Are you lost?
No, I'm not. My name's Ayu, and I'm here because...
Hey there, Chi-Chi. Hi, Gray. What's going on? Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city, probably wandered away from his parents and...
No, listen to me! I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes. But I'm worried that it's getting more serious.
So, what about your mom?
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still hasn't come back. Meanwhile, my dad's been getting worse and worse. I remembered that the owner of Bubu Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Rite, so I thought, why don't I take Dad to Liyue Harbor to see him there? When we got to the city gate, I took a moment to ask the Millith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone. I asked the Millith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured, maybe I can ask some other people in the city to help.
You came to the right place. We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right, Traveler? Changshan can help. She has a good sense of smell, like a dog. Hey, who's talking about me behind my back?
Chengsheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset. Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Bubu Pharmacy.
Not gonna lie, this camera angle makes him look a bit condescending.
You have a talking snake? Oh, are you Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle Baizhu?
Chengsheng, now's not the time.
I mean, hey,
My dear boy,
I know some
could you
people
tell me
don't like it
more
when they're
about
called
your
aunt,
father's
uncle,
condition?
or
As much as you can
someone of an
recall.
older age, just
Yes,
because, being older
Dr. Baizhu.
is a bad thing, but I don't know. I'd see that as a sign of respect,
I see. And your family lives near Chingsa village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Rite. She always tells me to just stay at home and keep my dad company.
Is that so? Ayu, by any chance, is your mother's name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is! Do you know my mom, Dr. Baizhu?
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
Yep, you can count on us to help out with
Chi-Chi and I need to
errands.
clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
Family is very important.
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates, see if they have an update.
Can you believe that little boy brought his father all this way to see the doctor? Oh, what a remarkable child. I didn't even know how to buy medicine by myself when I was his age.
True, same. I would just have my dad take care of all that as well.
His family. Oh, we have to find them. I see everything.
Oh, can't. Yeah, interesting. Oh, we're going by the entrance.
Squall and Fury.
They searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
Well, we got some right here.
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy. Dr. Baizhu. What brings you out this way?
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness. We were just discussing how we're running out of manpower. As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be tricky to navigate. Let's hope he hasn't run into any trouble.
You will? Oh, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Whirlpool. Yeah, that is. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know what's like walking distance or time for the in-game, but like, assuming like this walking pace is how fast I walk. Yeah, maybe like half a day. No, not even half a day, maybe less.
Squall and Fury.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Look at him gazing into the.
Look, there's somebody over there. Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further!
Bruh, my man.
Watch where you're going!
Oh, dear customer, Shangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you know
Hey,
we
Two
hasten
Tao.
the inevitable. Are you all right? Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu Tao! My, who do we have here? It's the Traveler and Paimon, and my worst nightmare.
Oh, Poke.
I see she still
Poke.
hasn't
Poke.
warmed
Poke.
you.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm butchering
Thank you,
butchering
Director
a
Hu,
name that's
for
probably
saving
very
this
easy
man.
to
Dad,
pronounce. But
are
anyways,
you
thank you
okay?
for following.
Do you recognize me? It's
Sorry
me,
if I
Ayu.
don't talk too much. I'm just kind of take it easy.
You're-
I'm not
Are
feeling the
you?
best, but
Uh,
oh no, mom.
Who am I?
Your name is Xiao Liang, and you live just west of Qingse
I'm
Village.
surprised. Well, I mean,
You
the
were
kid has
supposed to come to
probably
the
like
Inn
seen
Harbor
his
to see
dad
the
go
doctor.
through these
Remember?
conditions, so I guess he's not
Does that jog
super
your memory?
Oh,
super surprised.
My name is Jia Liang. Liyue Harbor. See the doctor? Yes, I'm Jia Liang, and I need to see the doctor. Wait, why do I need to see the doctor?
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Bubu Pharmacy right away. Sorry,
But
Hu Tao,
anyways,
gotta go.
how's your day
Dinner's on
going,
us
and
next
what brings
time.
you around these parts, I
Hold
suppose?
on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Bubu Pharmacy in this state, are you? Huh? Why not? What's the problem? Come on, Baizhu. Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs? Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends?
Oh,
Use
touch a
what?
sore spot.
What are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
Yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable.
About to start the game, really
I'm
now.
sorry,
It's I wouldn't say it's rare to find new players, because I'm pretty sure there's always new players, but you know, that's pretty
no
good.
need to worry,
I hope you
Director
enjoy
Hu.
yourself
I have
and
methods
play
of
at your own
keeping them at
pace,
bay.
enjoy the game however
It is the
you want to
sworn
enjoy
duty
it,
of all
and
who
try not to
practice
push yourself
medicine
too
to
hard,
cure
because there's a
illnesses
lot
and
in this
save
game,
lives. What
both the good
reason
and the
would I
bad, I
have
suppose,
to
depending
neglect a
on
patient in need who is right there
the
in
type of
front
player
of
that
me?
you end up becoming. But yeah, I hope you do
Besides,
enjoy
it
yourself.
was
It
my
is
late
a
master's
very massive
dying wish
game,
to
and
be able
I
to
thoroughly
save
enjoy
this
it.
patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Now you're bringing my great uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Bubu Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Bubu Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today.
What does that even mean? Let me Google search that. What does that term actually mean? I am actually persona non grata, meaning an unacceptable or unwelcome person. I see. Well, that makes sense considering you know, their two philosophies are pretty much against one another.
Okay, deal. We're not gonna solve anything by keeping Jia Liang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great uncle's sake and the travelers, of course. You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been a much more vexing ordeal.
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves back to Bubu Pharmacy at once. Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and
All right.
energy circulation?
Hope you have a good time, I guess.
See. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it? Can you cure him?
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great doctor. He's sure to find a way. Isn't that right, Baizhu?
Ayu, do you know when your father first started displaying these symptoms?
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed. No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight. Come and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and lucid again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you so much.
If you still have any misgivings, Director Hu, please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus when treating a patient. Any distractions heighten the risk of complications.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
See you tomorrow, Baizhu and Changcheng.
Bye for now, everyone.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
That's mighty suspicious of him. Ready to get down and dirty, I suppose.
You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like? Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad.
The wind rises.
Oh,
While
I wonder if it's gonna happen. Where am I gonna spawn in?
Admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked docs doing surgery. Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today? Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me.
Guilty as charged. So, we were just a little curious about Baizhu's master. What was he like? Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly that Jialiang had god remains in his system?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war. Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death. These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify gods' remains when we see them.
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so how did Baizhu learn to spot them?
Almost certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baizhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So, if he was from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baizhu's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go practice medicine instead. My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke to each other again.
Funeral director to
That must be a bit
doctor is a pretty big
disheartening.
career change. Kinda kinda hard to imagine. But why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest of their lives? That seems a bit extreme.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order of things.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide. One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say. Anyway, so I will be sticking around here for now to keep a close eye on the situation. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally figure out what he's up to.
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baizhu himself about all of this tomorrow.
Oh, while you're here, have either of you
Uh-oh.
seen Chi-Chi around? It's not every day I get to infiltrate Baiju's lair, but alas, I didn't catch a single glimpse of her anywhere. Aha! What if Baizhu knew I'd be on the lookout for her and hid her away in advance?
I'm gonna hope that it doesn't start the right quest right where I'm standing.
It's a new day! Let's go back to Bubu Pharmacy and check out how Jia Liang is doing.
Dad!
Oh, are you?
Dad, you remember me!
Yes, I remember now. Oh, Ayu, I'm so sorry. You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baiju's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years.
Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
You're still in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try not to overexert yourself.
I suggest you stay at Bubu Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jia Liang's condition?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a single night?
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish. Though I regret to say that Bubu Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wangsheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
Ah.
I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
Ah, yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Qiangsheng and myself for a moment.
Let's see. I feel that, Baizhu.
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now. But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
Who's there? Why did you follow us here? Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah, I want
I
to check
just
up on
needed
some
to
friends.
get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baizhu did not cure Jialiang's illness. Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system. Baizhu, can you please explain all of this?
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Qiangsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Qiangsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Qiangsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Qiangsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baiju's strange choice of a necklace. Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods.
Not a
So,
quack
when
doctor,
you
but
transfer your life force, does that
I don't
mean
know what
you're
type of doctor you
actually
call it.
damaging your
It's
own
definitely a
body?
sketchy doctor.
Hardly. Qiangsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
Still, Baiju's life force is not unlimited. We must find a way to neutralize the poison in Jialiang's body. And soon. Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own. Baizhu, don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all secrets surface eventually.
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Huh. Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as to how he might have been exposed to it. Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you arrived. He told me that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of Qingsa village. Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy. As well as investigating Jia Liang's exposure to the poison, We should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow disciple, Jiangli.
Oh, that is quite far. It's been a while since I've been in this region.
Behold! The wind rises.
Has this house always been here? I actually don't know.
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Qingsa Village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiangli was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiangli? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jialiang. Wait, Changxiang, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiangli did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family. The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened? I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiangli or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
Oh, so that's why you went to such extreme lengths to help Jialiang.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision would have remained the same.
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions, You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
What the... Okay, that was the most suspicious sounding thing you've ever said.
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now, Jiangli has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation. Let's split up, but if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
Oh, that took a 180.
Hey! Traveler, Paimon, come quick!
Well, I came quick. So,
What is this?
Changsheng and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
Not gonna lie, this angle makes him look so evil.
Huh. You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains. Is it breathing? Paimon's not seeing things, is she?
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive. Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances.
And I
If
can
it's a
slowly feel my
concoction of
throat
this
getting
kind
worse,
we're
even though
dealing
I'm
with,
like not talking that
then
much
both
still.
the poison in Jialiang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct. Whoever is administering the poison can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
The call of the... Wait. So, back when Jialiang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading!
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient, the mother lode.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jialiang? Hey, why is everyone
Not
going
gonna lie,
quiet all
I
of
don't
a
know if it's
sudden?
supposed to be load like that or
Since
load
this
as in like
poison was
actual load, like
carefully hidden
LOAD.
away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house. You mean...
Oh, I guess load
Jialiang?
is a word,
Why
but
would he poison himself? Think a little harder, Paimon.
I guess it's like a
Someone
different
else
spelling in
who
some
lives
places.
here,
Or
and
like
who
old
might
English.
have expertise in crafting drugs. Huh?
And
So you're saying...
we're all giving the stanky eye.
It was Jiang Li? Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either. Why would she poison her own husband?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiangli does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery. Yes. According to the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases, the minor loads will disappear if the mother load is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jialiang's system without the need for any further treatment. Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
Oh yes.
Even the history books have no record
Or
of
I
this.
might be misremembering from the
The
thing
only
that
ones who know
was sealed in the
anything
cave or something similar
are
to
those
that.
old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time. Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't tell you anything about this? Well,
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? After a contract?
Ah
Sharing
yes,
life force?
contracts.
Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon. Hey, plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me. With my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach. Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing! Baizhu, maybe Sire. You can let Paimon sign a contract with Changsheng for a few days.
Unfortunately, Changsheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
Temperament? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face? Ugh! Paimon's mad!
Connecting
You've
the
got
dots.
ugly nicknames, both of you! Baizhu, you're... Mannequin Man! Changsheng, you're just... a pain in the neck! This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk. What?
Seems you're as well connected as they say, Traveler.
Is this who I
We are
think they're
truly
referring to?
fortunate to have you on our side.
I mean,
If you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
indeed. Hey,
You called?
Gets Paimon every time.
surprise jump scare.
Are all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Baizhu of Bubu Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before.
Dude, he really had to just do that. Oh well.
I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me?
Yes, we want some more details.
So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable. I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village. A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis. The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Qingce village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Che is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground. However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again. Nothing. I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Bruh,
Farewell.
this whole moment just reminded me of the whole thing that's going on in the Jianzhou and Stario. God damn it. Just too many parallels.
That's Xiao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master! Master! There's a problem.
Uh-oh.
Wait? Did you run all the way from Bubu Pharmacy?
He hauled ass.
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoliang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already? How? Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Bubu Pharmacy now!
Dun, 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 dun.
Behold! Too slow.
Okay, yeah, there's some stairs that you can actually go up really fast, and then there's some that you kind of just get stuck. Or just elevations.
Don't be scared. Dr. Baizhu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
Speed walking.
Dr. Baizhu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jiaoliang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Baizhu's not gonna use Changsheng's secret art again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jiaoliang? Oh, please don't worry. Dr. Baizhu will find a way.
But...
Alright, let's try and do this from a distance, because I am very close to the entrance. Ding dong, dong, dong. Dong. Damn it! I was too
How are you
close!
feeling, Dad?
Oh,
Are you still hurting
we're just
a
over
little?
it.
You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baizhu? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row. I don't know how I can begin to repay him for saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her. Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jiaoliang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Bubu Pharmacy for now. I can accompany Ayu to the Adventurers Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baizhu in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baizhu hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jiaoliang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait
Yeah, he's probably not doing so hot.
you're finally awake. That was far too risky, even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something. Jiang Li's design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
So, how much longer do you think Baizhu's gonna nap for? They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just... Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baizhu! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Changsheng's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy, or he could have still perished at any moment.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiang Li has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang's life, Jiang Li has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible, whatever the cost may be.
Well, I think that
Man,
it's
we're
too
thinking like
early
so
to
hard
say
into
with
this
any
and like
certainty
connecting it
what
to
fate
things that
has in mind.
probably
In any case, I have
shouldn't be.
stabilized
Well, I
Jialiang's
mean,
condition for
I don't want to
now,
call these stories
so
kind of
our
like
immediate
standalone experiences
priority
because
should
I
be
guess
to
they're all
get
part
ourselves
of
back to Qingce
the
Village
things
and
that are
find
happening in
out where
Teyvat, but
Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to god remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me,
The beans
Traveler, Dr. Baizhu.
might have been slightly spilled.
It's Jiaoliang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baizhu, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiangli's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own safety, you should stay here and rest.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now. Right now. Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Aw.
Dr. Baizhu, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works.
Dr. Baizhu, do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna guess this is probably the last leg of it. Wow! I totally forgot this the boar was here. Alright, just gotta push a bit further. Not gonna lie, I feel like the domain's probably in there just from the looks of it. But hey, who knows? It's always the mine entrances, yeah. I'm debating whether or not I want to take a nap, because like I'm not sleepy, but I definitely want to give my body a opportunity to rest.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jiaoliang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way.
You sure that's just like a feeling, or is that something else?
This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
Well, it should be familiar. It's like literally on the way to your house.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense it.
I think I remember this place.
Jiaoliang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
Alright, it's go time. Entanglement in the past dream. Alright, I'm gonna just stick with this team even though it says Geo. We'll see how badly this will actually hurt us.
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead? The digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel. A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools?
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, curses. Why can't I remember what she said?
Easy, Jiaoliang. Come on, let's keep going.
Yeah,
Quietly now.
The doctor will see you now.
A bitter pill to swallow.
The wind rises.
Got a little campsite here.
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster-repelling incense? You sure? 'Cause we did run into that group of monsters just now.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiangli was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jiaoliang's life, albeit as a last resort.
that's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiangli. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiangli to give me the poison.
Jiaoliang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me.
He's breaking. Got a haul. Oh, I would have thought there would have been a lever or something. Jeez. We're going through so many layers. Is he even going to be able to climb through all this, realistically?
Squall and Fury.
I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
I could probably cheese for all this, but...
Aha! We can keep going now.
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
Nope, range is not long enough. This mechanism shares the same, feels similar to what's it called? Like the ones we used in the
Quit following me.
in the new Sumeru desert region. Okay, so I'm guessing all these side rooms are just for chests and whatnot, yeah?
The doctor will see you now.
Squall and Fury. Search for it. Ja! Yeah! Know your place.
Mind the side effects. A bit.
Ha! Ka! Ha!
Okay, so it looks like we need to go for these side rooms anyway to bring more devices for us to use. Okay, so I don't know what's in that side room, but I'm guessing that right room was the only one we actually needed.
Quit following me.
Well, I don't know. It still says I can't activate it, so I don't know if I need something else. This should be far enough, right? Okay, this is just for a small chest. Cannot activate this.
Too slow.
I feel like I should be able to activate this. Oh, I need to activate this one, and then it bounces to that one. I see, I see. The top, the one doesn't have the crystal on top. Or it does have a crystal, it's on the inside, but the top is just, or the lid indicates that's just a starting point.
Behold.
And then we have a good old pit of death at the bottom.
Too slow.
Oh, I see big guy.
Zhongli!
There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back.
What's this? Magic lamp!
The wind rises.
Dr. Baizhu, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away! It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baizhu said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect. And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working... Oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, we can't just give up on him! Baizhu, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiang Li, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Dr. Baizhu, give it to me straight. How long does Jiang Li have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days.
Gosh.
But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baizhu, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiang Li have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis. If my choice can bring Jiang Li back, then even if I die...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baizhu, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together. Just a moment, that's all.
Disparage.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Jialiang. Baizhu, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I am sure that over the years, Jiang Li will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiang Li would not have had to resort to unnatural methods. What a crazy situation! Jiang Li risked it all to save Jialiang's life, and now Jialiang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiang Li! What's the point of it all?
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. And he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you. So, I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
Pee poof.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch Ayu grow up.
Oh god. I can't imagine how scary it is to be in a situation where like you're watching someone like die right before your eyes or going through like a moment of pain. It's very despairing.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear.
Oh man, that must be.
To hear. Voice
On one hand,
time.
it's probably a beautiful thing to, you know, see your loved ones in your final moments, but also must be like a very painful thing, you know, because they have to watch you pass away, type of deal.
Jialiang! 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 Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jia Liang to show us the way before we set off for Qingsa village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Bubu Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum, The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
You know, that's a very nice dream goal right there, you know?
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone?
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion.
Yep. Food time, baby.
At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Jiangli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
They got some words to settle. Oh, we're playing as Baizhu.
Now that you are part zombie, there are some rules that you
Gotta follow the rules of the
need to
zombies.
know.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
First, don't forget to stretch your body regularly. Second, don't forget to...
Yes? Go on. Don't forget to...
I forgot.
They'll work it out. I wonder if rule 2 is don't forget to forget. Or don't forget to not forget things, I guess.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Chenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu.
I wonder if they always change it to nighttime for this part. I actually don't know, but it's like nighttime has to be like the perfect quiet setting
I've
for
taken
this.
a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or
Exposed.
later.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us. Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that, some of them, I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us. The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out.
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay? Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the
This is a
land,
bit loud.
one
Turn it
doctor
down a bit.
made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, The doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
Not gonna lie, that line's kinda badass.
On the host's natural temperament. All my hosts
I find it
have
interesting
been
that they
most
swap
pure
eyes.
of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope.
Yes,
in a
Master
dark
Flame,
world
eh?
filled with pain and suffering.
Man, I'm making like so many stretches and boundaries that probably
Does that mean
ruin things, but
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes down to it, Are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Chengsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Chengsheng's final host, and the tradition of
I wonder how
passing
this is
down
gonna
the
play out.
contract
Will we have like a
will
finale
end
for
with me.
everyone?
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baizhu.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baizhu, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have
Uh.
coconut milk.
Coconut
for
milk.
Changsheng and Paimon.
Coconut milk, not from the Cocoa Goat.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
Yeah, I guess that's part of what makes us mortal, you know? Wonder, are they still around here? But yeah, this was a really philosophical story quest. It definitely gives you some food for thought. I kind of wish that they stuck around, you know, here's some closing thoughts and whatever. But yeah, it was a nice quest overall. Enjoyed it. I really do wonder how things are gonna turn out for Baizhu in the end. Will it really end with him, or will there be a character in the future that'll be his disciple or something? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see down the road if it ever does happen. But yeah, so since today is Saturday, at least for me it's Saturday, so I guess Sunday tomorrow will probably be the last day I'll be able to stream for a few days. So I guess sometime Sunday I'll do a semi-review of my Star Rail account as of towards the end of the third week. So basically the halfway point of 1.0. This might be the first time in a long time that I probably will not archive a stream session, because I don't know if I really want to archive it. I don't know, if I do anything remotely interesting, I might archive it just like as a whole entire VOD, because that's kind of what I've been doing with Star Rail. I haven't had a methodology of like naming stuff like I have been with Genshin and Honkai Impact. So yeah, I probably will keep at it like that for a bit longer until 1.1, and then I'll probably organize things again. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, where that's an afternoon or night. We'll see. Probably just chill, do a bit of my account review, and then run around and do the daily rat farm, or maybe just do some random attempts at Memory of Chaos, because I did make it to that place with a bit of other investment. But yeah, alright. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll be back tomorrow.